thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming tonight. I know we're picking up our coaching gear tonight, which is fantastic, and we thought, what a great opportunity to get some guest speakers to come in and do a little bit of stuff around our pre-season coaching, so some new drills for you to use, some progressions. Our coaches, we've got a fantastic panel of coaches tonight, which I'm really, really excited about. We have Mason, who's obviously coaching at currently the Big V with Bulleen, but has had experience at WNBL level and NBL 1. We've got Dylan here as well, who's worked with state programs, has had some experience coaching in US college system. We've got Lauren, our girls development coordinator, with a great experience in coaching junior basketball, developing players. And then I'll try and finish up to keep everybody awake right at the end with a little bit of something, and we'll talk about practice planning. Okay, please ask questions during it. We will have a moment to be able to ask some questions at the end, but please, if there's something there in a drill, mention it, put a hand up, and we'll get to you on it, and our coaches will be able to answer as best they can. Mason's going to start by doing some stuff around some team play, and we've got our fantastic helpers here on the baseline. Can we give them a round of applause for coming out? I'm going to hand the mic over to Mason. I'm really, really excited to hear him speak. I know he's got a great basketball mind, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Mason, all yours.
Thank you, Ollie, and thank you everyone for taking the time to come out tonight from your busy schedules. I love doing this stuff, and it's really fantastic to see from a grassroots level how much time Ollie and everyone here at Ivanhoe puts into coach development, because it's a pretty special thing you don't get at a lot of clubs, so I really appreciate it. Today I'm speaking on team play, mainly looking at offense. The two main things in offense are timing and spacing. They are the fundamental principles of all offense. In regards to spacing, you cannot allow one defender to guard someone and impact someone else. And in terms of timing, the reality of our game is the whole game evolves around one thing happening while something else is finishing. So for example, someone's coming off a screen to go and hit a shot. We've got to make sure the pass occurs as that person ends their cut, so that we actually maximize our offense. When I grew up, I always thought they were both the even things. They were as important as each other. What I realized going to the WNBL was that we needed great spacing because they're very big athletes. Timing, on the other hand, we might go and pass the ball half a second late to Mia Murray. And for those who don't know, Mia Murray, Rachel Sport medalist or grand final MVP, one of the legends of the game. And she's so good that she can still hit a shot. And so I hope the thing that you take out of this session is that ultimately spacing is the most important thing. And we'll go through drills to go and work on this, on relocation, principles behind the play. But hopefully what you take away is if you coach spacing every single day, or every single time you get on the court, your team's will be good on offense. Because if one player can't guard two, as soon as we create an advantage, someone has to help, someone's open, we get a high percentage shot. When I started playing, we kind of transitioned away from the 3-out, 2-in system, which was kind of how basketball started, to more of a 4-out, 1-in system. So can I just grab offense and defense right here on the seam? Anyone? Offense and defense on the wing, offense and defense on the seam. And then can I grab another 2 people on the wing and another 2 people on this block? We might have, perfect. Can you guys jump out? Can you just jump on the wing? Perfect. Can you jump up here and play defense here? We're not going to go live, don't worry. Just on the seam. Can you guys go and jump on the wing? So seam being the extension. Can you guys jump up onto the wing? And can I get one more person? Lauren, can you go and guard the ball here? And so this is where basketball progressed to, with spacing like this. The unfortunate situation was, if we just put the basketballs down, ladies, if we go and have defense that, is in the driving lane, perfect, jump across here, jump in your help, jump. Right now, you can keep basketball. Sorry about that. Right now, our ball handler has nowhere to go because our spacing's not great. So if you try to go and attack, say you try to go and drive middle, you could help quickly, boom. Now when you pass it, boom, you can recover to your player. And we have no advantage. Where offense has moved to, if we pass the ball back here, and what we'll go and talk about now is, can you guys jump all the way down to the corner? Ollie, can you jump to the corner? And can you guys jump on the other side? And our offense is going to play right here in the dunker spot. That's because you're the person that's going to throw it down. And can you go in space just outside the seam? Yep. And one step back. Take one step back and one step outside the seam. So, general offensive spacing is what we want. Is you have corners filled. We're slightly outside the seams. And our big is now in the weak side dunker. So, some people like to put them right on the baseline. My preference is that they play between the block and the low peg on the court. And hopefully now this image goes and shows you there is so much more space for our players to go and play and operate. And as we go and get into the drills, hopefully go and see how this all fills in. But I want to show you the whole before we break into the part. From here, now again, if we attack, then we can move, play from there. What this should look like at the end, and this was a very basic concept of offense that I did when I was coaching a youth league team. When we introduced it, we won our next 13 of our next 14 games. We averaged 95 a game because we just got really good shots. We want the court essentially broke up into 4 quadrants. So if we take the small free throw line, split it there, split it in the half, we want one player filling each quadrant, and our big, they can go and play in this dunker, and they'll play across to this dunker. So we always have space. The main principles, just in terms of offense, again, we'll get into drills in a second. For penetration, if you've got a really young team, like under 10s, under 12s, I'd suggest that if the ball moves towards you, space, the ball moves away from you, replace. As simple as that. So say we had, let's go and say we had middle drive. Ball gets driven here. Ball's moved towards you, so what are you going to do? Space away. Boom. Easy. Ball's moved away from you, so what are you going to do? You're going to lift back up. Boom. You go and replace. And now we keep our space the entire time. If, for example, let's go and say we kept going deeper. Ball's going towards you, so you'll space away, so you'll go under the basket. Go the other side of it. Yep, so go baseline. Because now if your player helps, we can just pass it to you and we score. If we rewind, say we went and had baseline penetration. Again, so ball's moving towards you, so you're going to space, you'll hold. Ball's moving away from you, yep, so you'll replace, and again, you would just go and lift to the dunker. Other way, sorry, you'll lift right to the front of the rim, my apologies. And so they'd be basic spacing principles. The only thing that you change as you build up, rewind, or at least my philosophy on it, doesn't mean it's right, is we'd have the exact same, but we'd always keep the opposite corner filled. That's the only other thing that I'd do if I was coaching a team that was slightly higher. Last rule, and it's so important because I think you guys probably see it, quite a lot, is let's say we drive. Good. And now let's say we go and pass the ball out. Boom. Once we drive, so we drive, we kick, then we've got to clear outside the 3-point line again. So I love using with the little kids is I think everyone's played the game, the floor is lava. Inside the 3-point line is lava. So once you go and kick it, right now, where is there space for you to go and get out to? Look around, the 3-point line. Where's space? Yeah, you could go there or you could spread out. So say you go and cut, boom. And now I've got our space again, now I can penetrate off that. So ball moves towards you, space, ball moves away from you, replace, and make sure you keep our space in the entire time. Easy, right. If we go and can I get 2 people on offense and defense here, and 2 people on offense and defense there, and that's what we're gonna need. So the way that we build this up, and we work on this stuff daily, even at WNBL level, guys get everyone else jump off the court, so I need O&D, offense and defense over there. And you guys can stay on. You guys jump up. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I'll get you into the next drill. Yep. So jump here. Jump on the wing. First thing we'll talk about is building up your receiver spots with the big. So how we set up this drill is you're going to turn around. Awesome. You're going to put the ball in his back. Drill's live when the ball comes off. Ultimately, you can adjust this drill depending on their level and skill. I find this gives the defense a very slight ability to get back in front, but generally you get past them every time. If your player isn't You know, your players struggle with this. I just change it to have them stand behind with their hand on their shoulder. Once the ball's driven, then we're live. The reads are, they can go baseline or middle, but what we want is as you dribble the ball, just go slow motion. Yeah, so let's say he just gets slightly past you. Yeah, you're good, you're good, you're good. And you're just trailing now, and you'd be, where would you be? Good. Because we want to keep space to floor, if the ball's driven baseline, we want our big to relocate to the front of the rim. Good. And now they can catch and finish. They can do whatever they want if you go and help fully. Yeah, so say you help. The reason why we want them to move is because if we have someone else that's spaced on the perimeter, we don't want them to be able to help. We can catch and then finish. Rewind. If, say, we drive the other way, same thing. If we drive, if you go and stay, we don't have an ability to play on the other side of the rim. So you'd go and relocate under the basket like we worked on before to here. Perfect. And now if you help on the drive, what can you do? Boom. And we get a lap. Does that make sense? Cool. Let's rewind. Let's go and see it. And we just rep this out throughout preseason, throughout training sessions, so they go and build the ability to make reads. Whenever you're ready. Now, hang on. Rewind. When he drives baseline, where are you supposed to go to? Front of the key. All right. Go again. Same read. That's good. Good, and then we can finish from there. Perfect. That's right, that's okay. It's okay. Go again. This time let's go and build up with a little bit more pace. Good, relocate, good, and now we finish. Perfect. Good, go again. This time can we go middle just so we can see it? Good, and then we finish. Perfect. Now, main keys on this. Number one, whenever we drive from the perimeter, we always want our, the person handling the ball to aim to go and get to the front of the charge circle, no matter which way. Because they have to be able to play with contact with their defender. What you see a lot with junior players, they try and avoid contact relentlessly. And if I be you for a second, and say if we were playing one-on-one, and we're just going to walk because you're way quicker than me. No, turn around. If I try and drive and I constantly try and avoid your contact, I now become and I start doing banana drives. I never beat my player. What we want is once I go and attack, so say a little bit closer, perfect. As I attack, come back, let's go and say that I get a slight advantage. I want to actually realign myself to go and get back to the front of the rim because now I have an option to go and finish and I can't get pushed behind the backboard. So number one thing, when we drive, our goal is to go and get back to the front of the rim. For female basketball fans out there, if you ever watch Steph Reid, one of our players from Townsville, she is the best at it. Every single drive, she gets feet in the paint, which means people have to rotate, and then she can play from there. The second thing is, and one of the biggest issues in terms of player development now with guards, is we need to have our chin on our inside shoulder whenever we dribble. Because we need to be able to recognize where the help's going to come from early. If I catch it, and same thing, say I have a slight advantage on you, and I drive my heads down, I can't see it. If my head's straight, I can't see it. If I turn my chin on my inside shoulder, not only can I read the help early, so now as you go and come, boom, I can now immediately make the pass, or now I can go and read the help isn't coming and now my score is open. We had a really brilliant possession when we played Southside Flyers, and Steph Reid drove baseline. Her chin was on her inside shoulder and she just looked straight at the big. And Abby Bishop was, well, I can't help because you're just going to pass my player. So in the end, Steph just got a wide open layup just because her head was in the right position. And then just the cutting. So as I said, that's the way that we've built at least the reads of the bigs up. If you want to keep advancing it, can I just get two girls, jump in? Okay, one in the corner. And one guarding her. And now we just go and build it into adding more people in. So again, just to walk through it, we won't go live. Yeah, I just need two of you. Perfect. So say we go and drive either way. Go on your back. Perfect. We come off. Boom. You now relocate. Perfect. And now our reads are, if the low person doesn't help, we get a lap. Go back, pass back over there. Let's say you come in and you go and help because your player's helped. Now we're going and throwing it long. And again, if your players can shoot threes, they can shoot threes. If they can't shoot threes, take a step in and then just go and shoot the mid-range shot. Yeah, it makes sense? Cool. Rewind back. This time I need 6 group, so I can get O and D. Can we go and get offense on the wing? Sorry, actually on the slot. Yeah, perfect. And can you jump 2 steps higher to there? Perfect. All right, now, so we've spoken about the reads with the bigs. Now let's speak reads with our perimeter players and how we want to re-space after our penetration. So let's go and say you guys jump to the ball. Let's say you jump to the ball. Perfect. I'll use the kind of more advanced spacing, so we'll keep corner and everyone else will replace and space just for this drill, but I'll explain it where you could go both. So when we drive, again, so we want to give the offense a slight advantage, now defense has to help. Now we can work on our receiver spots after that, or our movement after that. So again, we went and said, if we want opposite corner filled, so you're going to fill the opposite corner, because it's the second best shot in the game. And then if he drives away from you, where are you going to go? He drives, yeah, replace. Perfect. Now, let's say you don't want to give up the layup, yeah? So you come across and help. What we've done now is we've created a massive distance for one player to go and guard 2. And they can't do. That makes our decision making very easy. So if they help, who's open? Boom. We've got catch and shot. If say you rotate, now who's open? Boom. Now we've got catch and shot or drive. And what will happen is as you start getting better with these decisions, like teams just can't guard you because you're spaced so far that one person can't guard 2. We rewind to the start. Let's go and say we have middle penetration. So if the ball gets driven towards you, what do you do?
Go there.
You go in space. Now, the reason why we don't want to come towards, and this is a habit that a lot of junior players have, is they'll just run at the person dribbling, is because in their minds, they're thinking, well, if I run now, they can flip me with the ball for the handoff and I can drive off their back, but they're the only ones that think that. And then it just means that we have no space whatsoever. Yeah, because if you come towards, what have you brought with you?
2 defenders.
Yeah, 2 defenders. But if you sprint the other way and your player helps, sprint the other way, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Good. And where would you go? Ball's driven towards you, you keep spacing. Now we've created is a 1-on-2 numerical advantage every single time. And then if you pass, boom, you've got catch and shot or catch and drive. If you helped up, because you don't want to give up an open shot, so you're going to guard her, you're going to guard her. Now what would you do? Boom, now go open shot or open drive from there. So can we rewind and see that? Good, respace, good, kick, good, next, good, shot or drive, what do you want? Good job. All right, rewind, go again. Now let's do it a little bit, with a little bit more intensity. Good. Good job. Now, one thing we want to say, so we rewind, we want the exact same rules. So when we drive, we want to get to front of the rim. So when you go and drive, you want to drive at the help. You want to think score. So when you go, you want to try and get deep. Perfect, because now if you help down, now we've got even further distance for them to go and rotate. We want chin on inside shoulder so they can go and see where the rotations are happening. And even if they drive middle, and this is probably a hard thing for me to explain, but feel free to try it out when you're at home, is because of your peripheral vision, if I've got my chin on my inside shoulder, I may not be looking at the help, but I can very clearly see if you start helping in, then now that's the pass I need to go and make. Most teams and players get to a high level, everyone will rotate from the weak side, which is why we want to prioritize from an early age their chin on their inside shoulder while they're driving. So they have the chance to go and play at a higher level after that. So let's go, same thing, jump across. This time let's go baseline drive. Turn around, perfect. Good. So you're, there, go again, go again, go again. So again, if he drives away from you, then respace. Imagine you have a string that's attached to you. Yeah, all 3 of you. Oh, right now you'll hold in the corner, but you 2. So as he drives, he's going to pull you along and you have to go and replace him there. You can come across here. And when he drives, you can come across and you can try and stop him from shooting. You good with that?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, that's it. Whenever you're ready. Perfect. Who's open? Her. Perfect. And we go to open shot. Boom. Shoot it. My drill. Good. Perfect. Nice. Good job. All right. And again, you can just keep building this up as much as you need to. Again, you can respace the driver to the seam. You can add someone in the corner. And it just works on the principles that no matter what team they play for in the future, If they understand how to play your automatics, as I'd call them, your automatic rules, they'll be able to play in it, because every team has their sets, and I am the biggest culprit of adding in 4 million sets to my team and they forget them all. But ultimately, when things don't work, as they probably happen about 50% of the time, this is the stuff that we fall down onto, is how do we go and relate. Got time for one more, Ollie, or have I run out of time? Perfect, all right. Last thing that I want to go and speak to, can I go and get you two jump in the corner? Can I get you up here? And we don't need a defender. And can you girls jump off? There, jump off, perfect. Now, because this sort of offense is based on players being able to put the ball on the floor and go and score or draw help, you do have to spend a lot of time on their one-on-one ability to go and score, which is fantastic because the two number one skills in basketball are the ability to contain the ball one-on-one and the ability to contain the ball full court one-on-one. Like, having done all the scouting, or been heavily involved in scouting with the WNBL, they're the first things we look at before their three-point shooting, their ability to score 20, anything like that. You have to be able to guard one-on-one, otherwise you're not playable. You have to be able to pick up in the full court and guard your player one-on-one. So what we're going to work on now is you can build your own individual defensive rules into here, and I think Ollie's touching on defense later, so I'm not going to steal his thunder. But this is my favorite drill for working on players one-on-one, and again, we will do this every session because it's that important to what we do. So you're going to go and stay on the three-point line. You're in the corner. You're going to be in your help position. Perfect. Now, what we're imagining is happening is we're imagining you're coming off a pick and roll. Good. You've got someone rolling. You've got to quickly help. You'll shake behind to the wing. No, so you'll help on me. Imagine I'm the roller. Quickly stop me. And now you're going to come back out and guard her. You'll take one dribble, then throw the ball back. So rewind. She'll take one dribble off the screen. Boom. Now you're going to throw the ball back there. Boom. You're closing out, and then we're playing one-on-one from here. Again, ultimately, the game of basketball now is 100 pick and rolls a game. So you will face 300 closeouts per game on average. So we've got to be able to guard off a closeout. And that's what we're just setting up here. I think it's good because it works on their passing, works on our timing and whatnot. So once we catch it, then we're playing one-on-one. You can add your own rules in from there. For defense, for offense, I generally make it that they can't get out until someone gets a defensive stop to prioritize the defense, be your choice. It's a really simple drill where it's a little bit more dynamic than handing them the ball in your set, because in a game, you're never in that situation. Like, you're just in your defensive sets and we're playing. I've got to help on someone, now I'm closing out, now I've got to play from there. So can we see this? So rewind. So once he takes one dribble off, you're going to cut as hard as you can to the wing. You've got to get 1 foot in the paint, and now you've got to close out. You've got to have your hand over the ball so she can't go and shoot it immediately, and you guys will play one-on-one. We're good with that? All right, go back to the start. Let's see it. Good. Quick, at pace, hand over ball, good, and now play, good. Good job, ladies, good. Keep going, good job. Does that make sense? Yeah, do we have any questions? No? Probably a sign of a bad presenter, so I apologize for that. Yeah, I hope that wasn't too conceptual. Ultimately, they're just basic rules that apply after anything you do. In transition, we get early penetration, now we're into our drive receiver spots or our automatics. We run a set, we don't have anything on, the ball gets kicked out, we can drive on a closeout, boom, we're into our automatics. And it's the basis of, what offense is afterwards. So if you have any questions, I'll here's my details. I'm more than happy to chat further about it, but thank you very much for your time and hope you got something out of that.
Thank you, mate. Do we have any questions at all for Mason off the back of some of that stuff? I think there's some really simple things there, even just that one-on-one closeout we can do with our younger ones, playing the ball off the back of someone here into that 2-on-1. I think teaching even our under-10s, we can get into our under-10s there, just teach them to drive and find that next play is really, really important. Got Dylan up next. Coach Dylan obviously has had, like I said before, plenty of experience here in our state programs in Victoria, in some of our top men's programs, and then, as I said, plenty of experience with senior basketball and college basketball in the US. I'm really excited to have Dylan. He's going to work on some finishing and shooting. Dylan, I'll leave it with you. Round of applause for Dylan.
Well, I haven't done anything yet, so. All right. Just want to introduce myself again. My name's Dylan. I've known Ollie for a long time. I've coached a lot of places, both in Idaho, Texas, here, all over Victoria. So I'm going to be really focusing on, I know Ollie said finishing and shooting. I think the finishing is much more fundamental. So for example, we did our camp today, and of all the kids that we had, how many did we have? 50? About 50, not one of them could do a left-hand layup properly. So, you know, it's a lot of kids right now especially, they get into the gym, they run to here, and they just start launching it. And so for me, you know, finishing is something that's really, really important. And like Ollie said, I've coached kind of at the collegiate level, semi-professional level. I've been coaching for about 15 years now, started playing when I was very, very young. Even for me, I didn't even actually think about how to teach, like making layups, how to teach finishing, how to do proper footwork up until I started doing some, you know, intro coaching clinics that I was leading. And I got the stuff and I was like, oh, a layup. Okay. You know, I've coaching college age kids and all that kind of stuff. I've never had to teach that. So even for me, kind of taking a step back and realizing how do you actually teach a layup and how to finish is really, really important, and something that's not really thought about very much. Because I'm sure anybody who's played basketball a long time, I've played basketball for 10 years, I don't know how to do a layup. Great, that's awesome. How do you teach a layup? And that's something that I had never thought about for a very, very long time up until recently. So it's something that's really important to me. And the younger that we can teach kids how to do it properly, from the footwork up to the mechanics up to the finish, is really, really important. So we're going to start out really, really basic. How many of you have had, maybe remember when you were playing, Joey could probably remember a coach that has maybe done this. You're telling a kid, all right, we're going to make a layup, right? First thing, you put it off the backboard. And that's what they say. That's something I've said. Well, that's a lot of space, right? Can you hand me that? Yeah, or that. So, I mean, I just put that off the backboard, and that wasn't even close, right? Not even close. So we want to be very specific with the language that we use to kind of teach stuff like that, right? So when I teach kids where to put it on the backboard, I tell them every time, right? We want to put it on the corner of the small square, right? That's a very specific spot that then they can aim for every single time, right? And then they know, right, that's what I'm aiming for every single time I try to make a layup. You don't want to say, put it on the backboard. Well, okay, there's the backboard, there's the backboard. Like, that's a huge area. We want to be real specific, right, with where we put the basketball. So I tell them, right, top corner or the closest corner of the small square, that's where we want to put it every single time. Okay, so we try to put it there, right? Next one, right, is teaching our footwork, right? So if I'm running, playing basketball, whatever, I'm going and doing a layup, I don't think about that anymore, which is, again, with something when I taught it, I was always like, right, you just do this. Okay, well, that's really hard for like an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old to comprehend, right? Which kind of brings me to the next thing, with the language that we want to use when we teach. You want to be able to put it in a way that younger kids can understand right away and without having to think. So if I'm teaching a left-hand layup, right, I want my first step once I pick up to be my left foot, and I want to go off of my right foot. If I tell a 10-year-old, all right, make sure you go left, right to do your left-hand layup. You could ask a line of 10-year-olds, all right, put up your left hand, half of them will put their right hand up, right? So what we want to teach every single time, whether it's this side, it's the same language, right? We teach outside, inside, up, okay? Instead of left hand, or left foot, or right foot, left foot, vice versa, we teach outside, inside, up, okay? So that's language that they can understand quickly, they can remember, they don't have to think about it. Another thing, is placement. So you'll see a lot of young kids, especially when they're trying to learn left-hand layups, okay, because 90% of kids are right-handed. They're coming in and they're doing a layup. They either put it with their right hand, which is going to get blocked, bad mechanics, bad everything, or they put it right in front of their face and they might kind of do that, right? Technically, yeah, that was their left hand. Okay, so when I teach the kids or to do a left-hand layup in particular, and I keep saying left hand because, again, 90% of kids are right-handed, but it could be vice versa with the kid that's left-handed. I tell them specifically, like, where do I want them to put the basketball? So I tell them when they go up, right, I want them to put the basketball next to their ear. Say, they can visualize that, no problem. They don't have to think about it. It's not a mental checklist that they have to run through. They go up, okay, I'm putting the basketball up. Sweet, I'm putting it next to my ear. Easy. A lot easier for them to remember. And then you use kind of imagery of stuff that they can remember easily as well. So I always tell them, right, if I'm teaching kids how to do a layup, when they say, all right, put it next to your ear, if I'm doing right hand, and then I tell them, all right, put your hand like a tray, like a server's tray, right? So then they can remember it. It's easy for them to remember. You're not saying, all this kind of stuff that they have to run through their head. It's like everyone, I was doing the camp today, and I was like, how many of you seen, a server carrying a tray? And one kid's like, oh yeah, Ratatouille. I was like, sweet, he can associate it with something instantly, which is what you want. You don't want to have too many things for kids to think about, right? So that kind of is my basic philosophy of teaching finishing. So now we'll get into, right, how do we actually teach it? All right, so Jack, you can help me out for this one. Okay, and again, I'm going to do mostly left hand because, again, that's the thing that most of these kids struggle with, right? So we want to make it like a linear kind of progression, a way that they can kind of, all right, I can master this little bit. All right, then I can master this bit, so on and so forth. So what I like to do, take away dribbling, take away everything, even take away basketball. So you can put that down. Okay? So what I'll do is I'll stand on this side. You come right here. Okay? All you're going to need to have them do, they start standing, they take one step up, then they jump just like that. All you do is stand here, and they have to give you a high five with their left hand. That's it. So take one step up. Okay, so what happened? What'd Jack do there? What foot did you jump off of? Okay, so we want to make sure they're jumping off that inside foot. So they come here, up. And I should backtrack a little bit. One thing I did forget to mention with language and visualization for kids, I tell them you want to imagine your knee and your elbow are connected with a string, with whatever side you're doing your layup on. So if I'm doing a left-hand layup, my left arm goes up, my left leg's got to go up. If I'm doing right hand, my right hand goes up, my right leg's got to go up. So again, it's like a little visualization. They can picture it, and it helps them kind of retain that information better. So we'll try that again. We're going to jump off the correct foot this time, right? Okay, so you just hear, they go up, boom, and that's it. Very, very simple. You can get your kids lined up. Each one, they start here, step, and they're working on that muscle memory, that biomechanics stuff that allows them to kind of be able to execute that function without having to think about it, right? So let's get all of you lined up behind Jack. You all got to do this once. Okay? So, again, real easy. For the coach, you just got to stand there with your hand up. Okay? All the kids got to do is they're standing here, step, up. That's it. Okay? Go. Good. Next one. Okay? Next one. Okay? And what you'll notice, and what we're already starting to do, right, is we kind of get further and further away. So especially young kids, that's fine. I like to make sure that they start here, Okay, we want to make sure we can, again, kind of break it down as much as we can, right? So then we go to the next spot. Again, this is all without a basketball. We haven't picked up a basketball yet, okay? A little further out, same thing. Now they're doing their 2 steps, outside, inside, up, same thing, okay? Go. Good. Nice and easy. Good. Drive your knees up, okay? And then you can also see how their mechanics are going, okay, how they're doing it, up. And again, you really, especially with this, when you not even have the basketball yet, you really, really want to encourage them, right, to really drive up, because you'll get these kids, they go out, they got no balance, nothing like that. All right? All right, let's pick up a basketball. Go get your basketballs. Okay? Go get your basketballs. You got your ball? You got a ball? You didn't bring a basketball? There's one there. There's one there. Okay. Huh? Doing finishing. All right. So now, again, we're just keeping it real simple. Okay. We're just going to start standing, have the kids start with their basketballs. They get pretty happy now that they get to have their basketballs. Okay. And again, just keeping it very, very simple. Outside, inside, up. Okay. And they just go finish each time. Okay. That's all we're doing. Okay. And I'm going to wait to see what happens, but I have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen before we get going. So you start a soft jack, and then we'll go. Okay, so what happened there already? Wrong foot. Okay, so they're getting a little bit of a rush because you've put the basketball back in their hands, and that happens, okay, which is fine. Okay, we expect that to happen. Okay, and then also we want to use the markings on the court. So I always like to use the netball court or netball line as the starting spot. Start with toes on the netball line. Okay, and remember, you're just taking your 2 steps up and finish. Okay, go. Good, go. That's all right. Left hand, make sure you use the left hand. Good, okay. Make sure you use left. All right, good, okay? And again, that's very, very simple, especially if you're doing like under 10s, okay? Under 8s, I'm not that concerned about it. Under 10s, under 12s, first couple weeks of your season, if kids can't be doing left-hand layups, we should be doing maybe starting with something like this every time. All right, now we're gonna add dribbling. Okay, so this is where we get a little bit more of a rush. Okay, but what we wanna do to gradually keep building, okay, we want to start, okay, loaded stance. They start like this, okay, and this is how we kind of introduce dribbling into it. We give them 2 dribbles, and then they go. So they go 1, 2, outside, inside, and then we're up. Okay, so that way we teach, and then this is something you'll see a lot. They'll start like this, and then they like that, right, and they mess it up. Okay, so always want to emphasize starting with your back leg first. 1, 2. Here, here, and then we're up, okay? Give that a go. Okay, stop, go back. What was your name?
Oh, Andrew.
Andrew, that's right. Okay, so how did Andrew start this time? How were your feet?
Oh, that went well.
Yeah, so we want to always start loaded stance because we're simulating going from a running start. Okay, give it a go. Good. Good. Put it by your ear. Remember, by your ear. Okay. Same thing, left hand, put it next to your ear. All right, great. Good. So that kind of covers the real basics, the intro of starting to teach offhand layups. Now, of course, you can do it. So today we had a group with 2 lefties. There were only 2 lefties at the camp. So we just put them at the other side. Okay, just flip the feet. Left foot first. Okay, 1, 2, and then they're going. All right? So that's the real basics. Now, we're going to get into some kind of drills, and we'll kind of go through this relatively quickly about how we can encourage kids to work on these principles off the dribble, that kind of stuff. Okay, and we haven't even started to worry about defense or anything yet, and we'll get to that with the next one. Okay, so this is something that I really like to do. You can do it if you only have a group of 3 or 4. They can do it with their own basket. Each person has their own basketball. We have a little bit bigger group. You need probably 6 kids to do this one at the least. Maybe 5 if they're switched on. But 6 is good, 8's plenty. And it is really good with encouraging movement, moving into the catch, not being stationary, and then getting downhill and getting to the basket. Okay, and I normally wouldn't use cones, but I'll use these just to illustrate where we want the kids to kind of go and that kind of stuff. All right, so let me get 2 lines, free throw line extended on each side. Okay, so 1 line there, 1 line there, roughly even. Okay, free throw line extended, so on the 3-point line. Okay, and the first person puts down their basketball. Everybody else has the ball. So this is, nope, you keep yours, sorry. The first person of this line, sorry, 1 line, my bad. Okay, so this drill really encourages moving off the ball, catching, going, and then finishing at the rim, incorporating the stuff that we just worked on. So the first person's gonna go, to the block. Okay, so they touch, then they sprint up, and I always put a cone here because it gives the kid a target to visualize. Now stop. So as they get to here, you're going to pass, catch. Now, we call this rip back. Nope, you're just getting ahead of me now. Okay, we want the kids to pivot on their inside foot, dribble, and I'm in 1, 2, and I'm up. Right? So you kind of are almost engineering it so they don't have time to kind of think about it and try to reset their steps. So as long as they turn on the inside foot, dribble, 1, 2, their body does the rest, and they finish with how we want. Okay? So you would go, after this person passes, they come here, touch, go, pass, rip it back. So that's the thing, if they go over, it's gonna mess up initially. We wanna rip back, same thing, go. 1, 1, 2. Now you go. Get your own rebound. Come up, touch, pass, opposite line, good. 1, 2, good. That's okay. Pass. Inside foot, perfect. Touch. Good. Up. Catch. That's all right. So that's an over. That's fine. As long as they always catch, inside foot, they have to go get the finish on the correct side. Okay, so left foot stays down. Come back this way. And now go. Okay. Good. Inside foot. 1, 2. Good. Inside foot. Pivot. Rip back through that way. No. Pivot here. Rip through there. As long as you do 1 dribble, your footwork will be good. Go. Good. Catch. Okay. Rip back. So on and so forth. Okay. That's a really good one to get a lot of shots, a lot of finishes, a lot of footwork. You can adjust it. If that gets more advanced, they can go through their catch. So if you throw it to me, throw me the ball, please. Okay. They go through, all that kind of stuff. Great. That's good, but there's no defender. Okay, which makes it tough to work on our finishing. Okay, so let's get all of you over to that line. Okay, you don't need a basketball. Okay, Jack, you'll turn into the defender. You'll turn into the defender. There, none of you need a basketball. Put it down. Okay, and I like this one as well because it teaches kind of kids how to read their defender as well. Okay, so you're gonna sprint to the middle. We call this the nail. Okay, and as the defender, you can do 2 things, right? You can stay under, or you can try to keep her from going over the cone. One or the other. Does that make sense?
A bit, yes.
A bit? You look confused. Yes or no? Okay. We'll demo it, walk through it, and then we'll play. Okay, so you're gonna sprint. I'll be over there. Coach is the feeder. Okay, and you're sprinting either over. Okay, and defender has to go over as well. Not over. And I'll feed you and you get a layup. Come back. Or, okay, the defender, you can keep her from going over. So again, this can work very easily with young kids because you give them this visual aid, they see it, and essentially the defender is following or blocking. Okay, so if you sprint to the cone, right, your defender blocks. Nope, get ahead of her. Go back, rewind. Defender gets ahead, now freeze. Now we're teaching, what would you do? Backdoor, perfect. Okay, so they have two options. If defender does A, do this. Defender does B, do this. Okay, and then we'll be working on our finishing as well with the defender. All right, so whenever you're ready, we can go. Okay, and we're going up, and we're being able to finish with the defender. Okay, because very unrealistic in a game that we just get wide open layups except for warm-ups. All right, okay, so let's do that a couple. Okay, offense goes to defense, defense goes to the back of the line. Okay, next person's up. For the sake of brevity, we'll just do one shot. I like to encourage play to a result because that's more game-like, but we have limited time, so I get that. All right, so you understand what you're doing as a defender? Yeah? Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, good. Good, okay. Throw the ball back. Let's go quickly. We'll go two more, okay? Here we go. Good, one more. Good. I like that one because you went off the correct foot as well. Good job. All right, so that's some really, really simple stuff that we can do to encourage finishing, teaching it, and at the end of the day, you know, especially with something like that, it's all about reps, right? The more reps that they do, the better they're going to get. Simpler we can make it where they can do reps on their own, with a sibling, with another parent, whatever, better they're going to get at it. So that's a very fundamental thing that I think the sooner we can teach young kids how to do it, especially with the footwork, right, more success that they will have, which is, you know, what's important. Any questions or anything like that? Yep.
So Dylan, I find a lot of kids when they're doing their layup, they go too far under.
Great question, and I was going to touch on that, but I was wondering, thinking I was running out of time. Yeah, good, because we actually talked about this today at the camp that we did. So they always, and I don't know what it is, it's like there's a magnet to the baseline or something with kids in their pockets. Anytime they're cutting off the ball, right, they go here, and then you can't use the glass at all. So what I always try to do with that, especially when I'm teaching layups, whether they're cutting or they're dribbling, and I won't tell them specifically that I'm doing it, right, is I'll just stand right here so they can't do it. I'll just get in the way. And it sounds like it might be counterproductive, but kids are actually pretty normally at avoiding colliding into objects normally. They try to actively avoid that. Kind of like how Mason was talking about. The younger kids, they want to avoid contact on their drive, all that kind of stuff. So I will literally just stand right here. Another thing that I'll tell them, especially if they're cutting off the ball, is that they have to cut above the block. And I know like under eights, that's going to be pretty hard for them to kind of process. You know, this is the block. So when I tell them you have to cut above the block, I say you're literally going above it. So that gives you a good angle. And then they'll have more success. They make more layups because they're giving themselves a better angle. And they're like, yep, that's what I want to do because I want to get baskets. I want to get buckets. So I'll do that. I'll stand here. Sometimes I'll put, cones here for the really little kids if I've got to move around a little bit more. But I basically just kind of, muscle memory repetition it where they just, because they do. I don't know what it is. Automatically they're like, nope, I'm going to try to make a layup here. Not very successful. So does that answer your question? Yeah. Yeah. Yep, so I always say you want to cut above the block, not underneath it.
Yeah, I think it does become a something there.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you could, like, if I was practicing here and I would go get maybe that bin, you know, put that here. If I can't stand here, I wouldn't say put a bag because they might trip over that, but just something here so they have to do it. And I've done that in tryouts where I've just like kind of seen kids doing that, and I'll just like kind of just stand here and then they adjust. It's crazy. You know what I mean? So putting a physical barrier there tends to help quite a bit. Anything else? Awesome.
Thanks, Dylan, for that. Fantastic stuff. We're going to roll straight into Lauren, our girls development coordinator. Lauren, a huge advocate for our female coaches here at the club, and we're really, really excited to have her on board. We sort of had her at the very beginning when I got here, and then you escaped off doing some NBL 1 coaching. We've got her back in a great role. I know she's a big supporter of our young junior female coaches, which we've got a couple here tonight as well, but you certainly see her around all our girls teams. Lauren's going to do some passing.
Thank you. Alrighty, thank you everyone for coming out tonight. Really very much appreciate it. As Ollie said, my name is Lauren. I am the Girls Development Coordinator here at Ivanhoe. I have been involved in basketball since I was 11 years old as a player. I was very much lucky enough to be coached by Ollie in my under 18 year. And I moved into coaching, so I have a long history in junior representative basketball. And then I was lucky enough to get an opportunity to move into the Big V space. And from there, I was even luckier to get an experience to go and coach, or assistant coach, an NBL 1 team. So I was the assistant coach at NBL 1 for Keilor last year. I had the privilege to work with players like Maddie Garrick, Aneta Bendelovska, who is a DP for Bendigo at the WNBL. And now I am back here and hoping to spread the knowledge that I have accumulated. I'm going to spend some time talking about passing today and some drills that you can do with your team no matter what age they are. The drill that I will go through, I have run from under 8s all the way up to NBL 1. So it is adaptable to any age group. The reason I love this drill so much is if you have coached, watched any age group from probably under 8s to under 12s, you probably watch them chase the ball like this, right? There is no spacing. They have no concept of where they are on the floor. This drill I use to start to teach that. With the older teams, I use it to start to incorporate offensive principles, such as what you've seen from Mason earlier today. So this drill, can I have, how many I've got? 2, 4, 6. I only need 6 of you. Jump up. And a basketball. And I'll get rid of that. So this drill you can use with whatever court you're given. So domestically, we usually just have our half court. All right. If you've got really little kids, all right, and they don't take up a lot of space on the court, you can condense it down into side the 3-point line. This drill is simply called 20 passes. Okay, so it is an offensive team and a defensive team, and basically the offensive team just needs to make 20 passes in a row. Okay, and then they win. Simple. All right. But what tends to happen when I run this drill is we like to pass through hands, we like to pass to someone standing behind their defender, so we get turnovers, all right? And we don't get those 20 passes in a row real quick, all right? So you can adapt it as well. You can bring it down to 10. You can say, you know, let's just start counting from your next turnover, that sort of thing. This is all about decision making. So let's mix these teams up because this looks a bit size. Let's go 1. Zoe, you can jump over there. You can jump over there. All right. Find a player. You are my defenders. Find a player. Spread out, guys. Offensively, spread out inside the 3-point line because we've only got 3 of you. All right. There is no dribbling. Okay. And you've got to make 20 passes in a row. All right, maybe we'll go from yellow line. All right, you go above the yellow line, it's turnover. Okay, no dribbling, 20 passes. Let's see if you can do it. Off you go. Are we counting? All right, hold it there for me. The next thing I would start to do here, because what will happen as well, is if I'm on Audrey's team, we could literally stand here and do this for 20 passes, right? So what I then start to do is change it and say, you know what? You can't pass back to the same person you just passed to, right? That forces them to move, to cut, and to think, all right? Which is really important because as coaches, how many times have we stood on the sideline and yelled, space? I'm pretty sure my voice is hoarse from Adelaide for that particular reason, is I just yelled space the entire time. So we start to build decision making, we start to build relocation and movement, all right? And we also can start to work a little bit on our defensive principles. I don't spend a little bit too much time on it with this drill. This is more for my offensive stuff and getting the kids to start to think about who they're passing to. So when I am starting to teach passing and teach passing at pace, one of the most important things I like to say is get eye contact with the person you're going to pass the ball to. Because how many times have we watched a kid pick up a ball and throw it, and it's either A, hit the kid in the head, or it's gone out of court because we've moved, all right? So we want to get eye contact with the person that we're passing the ball to first. Otherwise, we're going to end up with turnovers, and we don't like turnovers. All right, so let's go. Let's see how many we can go. 1, 2, 3. Let's add in the rule you can't pass back to the same person. 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, you right? 8. You're good. 9. Good job. 10. Let's hold it there. All right, you're right? Alex, good job. All right, so every time I've coached, I guess, a junior team, we've wanted to get rid of the ball really quickly. We catch, we get rid of it. All right, we just want to get rid of it. I don't know why. I don't know why it happens, but with this drill, it starts to teach them to slow down a little bit and think about what they're going to do next. Is that the right pass I want to make? You know, is that person in the right spot for me? And then you start to teach the spacing. So I'm going to talk really quickly because I'm aware that we don't have a lot of time and Ollie wants to get in and talk defense. Does anyone have any questions on teaching passing, spacing? Yes.
We can play this in this kind of scenario.
Yeah.
There's often kids that aren't going to pass to certain kids because
Yep.
we're going to lose it there. Any suggestions on how to deal with it?
Condense the teams. So you don't have to go 5-on-5. You can go 4-on-4, 3-on-3, 2-on-2. Make them pass to each other. That's what I would do. And they've got no other choice then. All right? They have to get those 20 passes or those 10 passes or however many passes that you've asked for. All right? Any other questions? No? Cool. So the next drill I want to run is about I always start with chest passes, especially with the little ones, because we want to start to build up that passing strength. I don't think we pass well in general in basketball sometimes. So as long as we can get those two-handed passes really good, then we can start to incorporate those bounce passes, those overheads. Anybody else? Nope, cool. So back on that passing strength, what I like to do is a drill that I'll do off the baseline, but I usually do it off the sidelines. So can I have pairs with a basketball quickly? Run. So stand on the baseline, just nice and spread out with your pair. Oh, jump over there, Jack. On the baseline, girls. Spacing. Spread out. We don't all have to stand on top of each other. So this drill I like to do to start to incorporate strength and get them used to catching hard, because I think that's another thing we need to work on our hand strength a little bit, and the earlier we can do that, the better. So this also incorporates dribbling, pivoting, any ball handling moves you want to throw in, but just simply, all they do, 2 hard dribbles, jump, stop, turn, and throw that ball back at their partner. All right? Yes, it seems a little bit intense, but your coaching tips for this are the players on the baseline, they are down, they are ready, their hands are ready, so when they catch the ball, they can do the exact same thing. All right? With little ones, you just want them to come out, 2 big dribbles, jump, stop, pass. As we start to get older, you can throw in, I want you to pivot, I want you to throw the ball through your legs, behind your back, whatever ball handling combos you can think of. And then as we also start to get older and we start to incorporate those other passes as well. So if you want them to come out a little bit further, jump, stop, pivot, and baseball, you can do that too. But for me, this drill is all about building up hand strength, because as they get older and they move through the ranks, they're going to play with some bigger, stronger players, and they're going to want you to be able to catch the ball. I have a very good recollection of a point guard I played with at Big V. She was an American import. She threw me the ball once, and it went straight through my hands. She grabbed hold of me. Now, she was about this big. Grabbed hold of me and said, if I'm going to throw the ball at you, you are going to catch it. And I went, okay, sure. So I had to go and work on my hand strength and get used to catching those passes. All right, so let's quick demo of this one. So 2 big dribbles out, jump, stop, pivot, turn, hard pass. Players on the baseline, you are down and ready to go for the same thing once you catch the ball. All right, ready, go. Turn, hard pass, good. Once we've caught, then we explode back out, jump, stop, turn, great job. And that's simply all it is. All right, again, a drill I do with under 8s to NBL 1 players. All right, hold the balls, guys. Thank you very much for your help. I'm going to hand over to Ollie, who is itching to get into defense.
A round of applause for Miles, please, legend. Some really, really good stuff around passing, and really simple stuff as well, which I think we can all use. I'm going to get some defense out here. I'm going to get excited. I'm going to start really, really simply with defense. Let's get our group. Let's have 3 of us out on the wing here. Let's go. 3 of us out on the wing. Let's get the rest of us lined up on a cone. We've just done this one already at camp. There we go. Line up, jump on up on the other side. Actually, stay there, Andrew. You'll be good there. All right, let's have a group here on this cone, and I'll get one more. So first off, really one I love to do with everybody. I like to just get us feeling like we want to move around and play some defense. Plus, it's a little cold in here, so we might as well get warm while we're doing it. All right, just going to play some tag. All right, real easy. All right, now the best thing about tag is we've got to get down low. Abby's goal is to try to get between these 2 cones. Mine's to stop her. All right, so I want to create some athletic players. I love this as a warm-up drill. I like this as a way of introducing some defense to under 8s, and it's fun. Yes, nod your head. You have to agree with me, so as everyone knows it's fun. All right, you ready? Away you go. You're going to tag her. Go, got to tag her. Go. Just got to get out there and tag her. Let's go. All right, good. Next one up. Away we go. Next one, quick. Get over there. That's it. Good. Get over there. Go. Next one. Away we go. Let's go. Moving around. Good. There we go. Good work. Got to get through that gap. There we go. Good. Keep going. There we go. Good work. So we can see as they get through it, their stance is low straight away. The only way they can win at this is to really start to move laterally across the floor. I think this is great fun to get our kids to start thinking about how I've got to move defensively. We haven't got to get a basketball in there. We don't have to do this for very long. We can do this for about 2 minutes or so, and then we can really change it up. So we'll stop, and we'll get 1, and now we'll split our line into 2. So I have 2 lines here on the baseline, so 1 out here. We'll make this space a little bit bigger. That's it. And now we'll have 2 players versus 1. Taggers. All right, and go. Go, 2v1 now. Let's go. Way you go. Let's go. 2v1. Yeah, you're it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Good. All right. You can't go early, Abby. There's always a slide dog. Well done. All right, let's get it lined up. So let's get 2. So if you want to play some full court, trapping style defense, great way. Way we go. Let's go, Abby. You got to get in there now. Now they've got to work together a little bit. Good. They've got to cover their space on the floor a little bit more. All right, we've got them moving around, and it's not easy, but it gets everybody going too. I like to think it gets our offensive players starting to be able to play off the balls of their feet as well. Fantastic, great work. Pause, fantastic work. Let's pick up a basketball. Let's get a partner in a basketball for me. Let's go. Let's start to use some space that we've got available to us on the floor. I like to defensively, when I'm teaching, especially our junior players to begin with, is just trying to condense the floor a little bit or give them some spatial targets they've got to aim for. That way, we kind of teach them to guard that space first. If we start saying, hey, I want you to guard that player in the half court, as a defender, it's quite demoralising when you stand here as a 10-year-old and you go, oh, I'm going to guard my player, and the first thing they do is go past you. You think to yourself, that's it, I'm shot. I'm not a very good defender. I don't know why I ever do this. I'm never doing it again. All right, so I want to make defense as enjoyable as possible. Really short, sharp drills. Get these boys up here first up. You're going to start. You're going to have the ball, Jack. You got the ball, and you're going to guard him. You got to stand. Be in front of him. You're going to guard him. Great work. You can't steal the ball. All right, you just got to guard him. You got to stay in the key. All right, but you got to get past the foul line. Can't steal it. Can't steal it. Go. Go. Let's go. That's it. Good. Did what every kid over about 5'10" always does, turns his back and just tries to bury his way in there. So now I'll get you to start here again. All right, now I'll put this one on you. You've got 4 seconds to do it. All right, you ready? Go. 4, 3, 2. Yeah, got to get that chest on the ball. So let's go, girls. We're going to start in over here. Make sure we've got a partner so we're ready to rotate in. So I always talk about when I'm trying to guard the ball here, I want to put my chest on the ball. All right, I want to have my chest on the ball here, and I want to take that space away from them as much as possible. Away we go. 4 seconds. 4. In the key. Out of there. They're out. Next group in. Let's go. All right, got to stay in the key. Got to get past the foul line. Go. 4, 3, 2. Come on now. We want to make contact. Don't be afraid of making contact. Next guy's up. Swap it over. Next, get a crew in here. Let's go. Go. 4, 3. You beat him there straight away. Let's go. Come on, get over there and beat them. 1, 4, 3, 2. Good. Good work. Turnover. Great work. Let's go. 4, 3. Come on now. We've got to really want to work hard to get on that first bounce. Change of direction. You can go whenever you want to go. You go when you want. 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work. Let's go. Next one's up. That's it. All right. Now, I'll say this. And I got former players sitting in the room, which is great. I always ask, are you interested in playing defense or are you committed to playing defense? Because I know plenty of players that are interested in playing defense. I played with a lot of them. All right, they're very interested. Also, not lots of people that are interested in work and some people that are committed to it. It goes with schoolwork as well. A lot of kids are interested in going to school, not always that committed to it either. I want you to be committed to playing defense. I don't want you to just do this part here because coach has told me I've just got to put my chest on the ball. I want you to be committed because I really want to win this battle. Let's go. You've got to win this battle. Let's go. Next one's up. Let's go. Come on. Go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good way. Let's go. Next one up. Let's go. 4, 3. Get over there. Come on. Close that hand off. Come on. Let's go. Go. 4. Outside the key. There we go. Got him already. There we go. Next one up. Next one up. Go. Next one up. There we go. Good. Let's go. 4, 3, 2. Unlucky. Up you get. Don't worry about it. Let's go. Next one up. Worried about falling over. Committed. Fully committed. Let's go. You can start in the middle. There you go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Good. Let's go. Let's go. Straight away again. Abby, ready to go. All right. So, again, 2 really quick drills. We can do that with our older age groups. We can do that with our younger age groups. And all I'm doing with my older age groups is I'm putting a time limit on it. All right. I'm not going to put a dribble limit. All right, because I think a dribble limit stifles creativity for me. A lot of coaches, and I used to do it too as a coach, I'd say, we're going to play one-on-one, but you've only got 3 dribbles. Well, I don't know how much basketball everyone here watches, but you know, you can do a lot with 3 or you can do very little with 3. But I want to encourage players to play with the ball. I want to encourage offensive players to be creative. And likewise, I want my defenders to defend as well the whole way through. So I'd rather say 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever that is. Put a little time limit on it. And what happens? The intensity lifts out of our players. The intensity lifts out of them because they know they've only got so many seconds to do it in. Right? It's the same thing when we're shooting. If I want my players to shoot faster and play faster, I'm going to make the time that they can do it in less. I'm not going to say, well, you know, you can only take 20 shots. No, I want you to do it in a minute. I want you to make as many shots as you can in a minute. Last little bit of defensive work we're going to do is just on some general spacing principles. We actually did this today. So I have 1 or 2 offense and defense at the top for me. All right, there boys, jump out there. Wing, top the ball out, and wing. Don't need the ball. Beautiful. Right at the top, point spot. Real easy. Kick that cone out of the way. Go on, give it a good hoof. Give it a good hoof. All right, okay. Really easy. All right, who's going to go on offense? Who's going to play defense? Who's the loudest? You're the loudest? You're going to have to be the loudest. All right. Really easy. And we can play some 3-on-3. Our kids always want to play lots of games, so let's make sure we do as many games as we can. You got the ball. Arms out nice and wide, can't steal it. Great. We're going to be in the gap. All right, so we're going to be in this gap here. I'm going to stay where you are. I'm going to be in this gap here. All right, so I'm just in this space. I'm not going to deny yet. I'm going to start teaching that a bit later. Okay, but I'm just going to be in this gap space here, back to the basket or back to the baseline. And I'm in this space with my arms nice and wide. You're in that space. Good work. You're in the gap, Abby. Great work. Give me some arms on it. You just taught this at camp. Beautiful work. All right, so you're got ball. So say ball. 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 You've got gap. You've got gap. Great work. So that's all we're going to talk about. Gap, gap, ball. Pass, 1 pass. Great work. What have you got? Ball. Gap. What have you got? Gap. Your help. You drop down a little bit. Your gap. Great work. Gap. Beautiful work. Back again. Let it go there. Good. Ball. Gap. Move it this side. Gap. Ball. Good. Move it back. Great work. All right. So what I might do is I'll say, let's play 1, 2, ball back to the middle, and we're live. We'll play out of that. But I need to hear the talk to go with it. Yeah? All righty. Away we go. All right, play. Where are we going? Play. Good. Play. 5, 4, 3. Swap over. Good work. All right, let's go. We'll go it again. Same thing. We're going to make that move. We're going to allow them to shell it out, feel it out. Let's go. Away we go. Show it to me. Good. Good. And live. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And good work. Come back, swap it over. Great work. All right. Let's go again. So remember, we want to be moving. I always say, I want to be moving on the flight of the ball. I don't want to be reactionary as a defender. I want to move on the flight of the ball. I want to meet my defender at their space, the offensive player at their space, all right? So as that ball moves, now I'm moving. Yeah, if I wait to move once it's caught, it's too late, all right? So I want to move on the flight of the ball. Now, do players cut? Do players move? Absolutely, they do. Is this the absolute all-encompassing answer to our defensive problems? Absolutely not. But it gives our players an idea of where they need to be, and then we can start to build off the back of it. All right, but we need to have some sort of idea to begin with. Let's go again. Ball at Jack. Let's start again. All right, let's go. Start from there. Ball. Jack. Good. Good. And play. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Ah, good defense. Well done. One more for me. Ball, I have got my whistle, but I'm not going to blow it with the microphone, otherwise it'll kill people on the YouTube channel. My ball here. I need to jump up, jump to the ball. Jump to the ball now, go, ball, pass it there, ball. Ball, be there, hands wide, slide over, slide over, slide over, and play. 5, 4, 3, 2. We missed one, alrighty, great stuff. Can we give them, our players, a round of applause, please, today? All right. We're paying them the handsome sum of some donuts and chocolate milk. That's what we're paying them tonight for their performance, so they've earned it. Is there any questions on defense? I'll take any. No? Must have done well. Fantastic. I'm going to finish tonight by just saying just a couple of things around us as coaches, all right? As our junior coaches here, something for us to remind ourselves or remember when we're coaching. All right, we are in the business of development with an interest in winning. All right, that is our essence. That is who we are as a club. That is who we are as coaches. All right, we are in the business of development with an interest in winning. Yes, we want to win games. They keep a score, we want to win them. All right, even if it's just a little one-on-one game, we want to win it. But we don't want to drop our principles of development to win a game, because that doesn't help any of these kids here at all. All right, so things like, you know, I'm going to press up full court, or I'm going to say to my kids, I'm going to get a biggest kid. I see it all the time on a Saturday. Thankfully, not our club. I'm going to get a big kid, and I'm just going to tell him to stand in the middle of the key and just wait. Just wait until that player comes in and block shots. We see it all the time. Maybe I'm going to overtly double team a player, you know, all game and just sort of take them out of that game in under eights. Well, that's not, you know, is that the interest of winning? I don't know whether that's in the business of development though. All right, so we've got to find that balance as coaches. But for me, it's, if we focus on development first, the winning will come later on, and maybe it's not in the season you're coaching, and that's okay. All right, they've got a long time in the game, and the only way they're going to have a long time in the game is if we focus on developing them. Because people quit for lots of different reasons, but I know that one of the biggest reasons kids certainly walk away from any sport is because they feel like they're not getting any better. And it doesn't mean that they're getting any better in the sense that, oh, they're playing from D grade to A grade. It's within their grade, they don't feel like they're improving. All right, and that could be as simply as what Dylan did today is, this season I learnt how to get a layup in on my off side, left side, right side. That's great. That keeps that kid coming back. Your job for us at this club is to make sure our kids have a great development, have a fantastic basketball experience, and all come back to play next season. Couldn't care less how many trophies we win at the end of it, all right? I want 99% of our kids to come back for the new season. Practice planning, when we're looking at planning our practices, all right, let's just think of really, where am I spending my money? Think of our practice time as money. I've got 60 minutes, I've got $60. How am I going to spend my dollars? And where is that money best spent? All right, I will start first and foremost to say, don't worry about high knees, skipping, side to side, calisthenic warm-ups. Get rid of them. Not required. Your child, I'll guarantee none of these, especially probably this section here, certainly this section here. Nobody, my daughter has never warmed up to use the monkey bars in her entire life, ever. She doesn't get to the playground and have a little stretch. Get ready for it. All right, Dad. Yep, no, hold on a minute. I've just got to work. She goes, Dad, lift me up. Let's go. All right, straight away. So don't worry about too much of that stuff. That's about building routines. And a lot of reason why junior clubs started doing that was to build routine. We can build the routine later on. Let's start with some of that defensive stuff we just had before. Let's start with some ball handling. Even let's just start what Dylan had before. Bang, high five. High five, couple of really simple layups without a ball. Let's start with that. Let's get some bang for our buck straight away. I've got $60 to spend at training. All right, there's $5 for 5 minutes, and I'm getting some money out of that. All right, we're warming up. We're getting focused. Maybe the goal is to make 3 in a row, getting their focus, their brain engaged, and then we can get into training. All right, so get rid of your warm-up, get your warm-up really active, get basketballs in there. Try to have kids with a basketball in their hand as much as possible at practice. Okay, as much as possible. Doesn't matter if we're all in a line and we're all shooting, give them all a ball. Don't wait for one to shoot. I've got to get this rebound, it's over here. Oh, it's fallen off my foot, I'll come back. All right, by the time I get, man, I've juiced 30 seconds just for the next person to shoot. Just give them all a ball. Does it look messy? Absolutely. Are we in the military? Absolutely not. So don't worry about it. All right, let it be a little bit messy. Let's get these kids here. Next one, shot. Next one, shot. As much as we can within the realms of the drill. keep them on the move, all right? Let's just hit our basics when we get to practice, all right? We'll do a bit of ball handling, we'll do some passing, some shooting, some defense, and a little bit of team skill, whether that's 2-on-2, 3-on-3, and then some game, that team skill adds that game. Think about where I can combine things, yeah? Lauren's drill before, love that drill. Dribble, ball handling, stop, pivot, pass. All right, how can I change? How can I add some more to that? Well, maybe we've got to get here and I've got to go cross, turn, pass. When my ball handling, I'm getting my passing in. Yeah, all right, the drills Mason was doing before. All right, that's our team drill, isn't it? Stepping over, all right, 2-on-1 situation, I'm making my passing here. That's a passing and decision-making opportunity, all right? Think about those little things. Even to the point where our 1-on-1 defense here, by saying, don't steal the ball, I'm working on his ball handling as well as my defense. So try to have as many drills as we can where we're combining some skills. Really, really important. Combine those skills as much as possible. Get as much value out of your $60 training session every week. That's really what it's about, all right? Do you have any questions?
Ollie, is there ever like too much information in 60 minutes? Like, would you just go, this Monday we're doing defense, or would you mix offense with defense? Or I feel like sometimes it might be too much.
Yeah,
I want to get through.
I think the too much information is what you give them. I never think there's ever too much activity. Yeah, but I agree. Yeah, we don't want to be going. I always look at like, don't be afraid to have some repetitive things in there. Yeah, says the man with the most boring training plan in the world. Esme's laughing. The most boring training plan in the world. I've basically started training the same way for about, 15 years. I have the same 3 drills I always do at practice all the time. But the best part about that is my players know. Yeah, so I always think to myself, okay, you got your first training session coming up. I'm going to have, 8 drills. Next week, that second week of training, let's only have 3 new ones. Yeah, let's try and just do that, all right? Rather than coming in and saying, well, we're going to have a whole new drill this week and a whole bunch of new drills the next week. I think that's very time consuming. That's probably where that information overload comes from. Absolutely, is by having too many new drills. Any other questions? Look at that, clock's almost winding down on me. Do you want to flick it before it buzzes for me, mate? That was pretty good for me, 10 minutes. Once again, I just want to say thank you. You are absolutely vital, not just valuable, but you are vital to the way the club operates. We're at a record number of clubs, at 152 teams, so record number of teams for the club at 152 teams this year. We've stretched all the resources of courts across our local neighbourhoods. So if anybody's got a basketball court in their backyard they want to lend us, we'll gladly take it. We'll put a roof over it. I know it's winter. But you are vital to the way our club operates, and it's important that not only do our players have a great experience, but you also have a great experience, and that is part of my role, and certainly Isby, our boys coordinator, and Lauren, our girls development coordinator, as part of their role too, is to help you as coaches. So please, ask me questions, tap me on the shoulder. I do try to get out to as many training sessions as I can, and I tend to do it on a bit of a rotation, but if you feel like you need some extra help, come and ask, all right? Come and ask, and don't leave it late for me, all right? Don't be like, oh, I'm really struggling, and it's like 2 weeks out from the end of the season. Tell me early, so I can help you. We'll certainly share plenty of information, obviously through our coaches' email newsletter. We'll share information through our YouTube, which will put certainly this video and others as well through that. We have a podcast now that we put together, normally on a Wednesday night, not recorded tonight, where we'll share some coaching ideals as well. We're trying to find mediums and places to meet you. So if there is something you think we can do to better reach out to you, tell me. I want those ideas. I'll steal them and claim them for my own. All right, I need them all, okay? But we've got some coaching manuals. We've recently going to be going through an update of those, under 10s, under 12s, and under 14s, which we'll get out to coaches as well, which will have some simple drills, some of the drills that you've seen here as well. But please, I do thank you so much. I know season hasn't already started, but I am thanking you for getting involved in coaching here at the club. And I want to make sure you know that you've got my full support for anything you need, on the floor and also off the floor and on the sidelines. So thank you so much. Thanks a lot for coming out this evening and grabbing your gear. And I hope you have a fantastic, successful season. Thank you.